Okay, moving on to Saturday, we have a really early start. The five games on Saturday, so I guess they're squeezing them all in. So 5:30, if anyone's prepared to get up at that time. Cheetahs taking on the Chiefs. The Cheetahs fielding a new front row, I see. And obviously last week they were quite frustrating, and just sort of the way they imploded after that Villy LaRue yellow card.
Yeah, they ended up losing, what was it, 57-14. I mean, the floodgates just opened in those final 20 minutes after they'd held out so sort of resolutely. There were even some, excited thoughts that perhaps the Cheetahs might get a... Sadly now they play the Chiefs. It doesn't get much easier. Really, really tough game for them. So many key personnel missing from the Cheetahs. No Villy LaRue, no Kuni Oosthuizen, Opama Hodje has come home. So most of their the relatively few really big names that they do possess are sitting out this game. It makes them incredibly vulnerable. This game could turn ugly. I suspect Garen will agree with me on that. I think in my preview I've gone...
Surely not as ugly as the last Chiefs game.
I think I might have gone Chiefs by 29 points, just because 30 sounds so much more of a hiding. So I've got Chiefs by 29.
Garen, the next game, the Stormers against the Highlanders. The Stormers have had a break. I think perhaps the Stormers and Cheetahs are kind of duty bound to beat the New Zealand opposition after a certain result this week. But yeah, the Stormers, Scott Burger's 100th cap and Juan de Jong leading the side.
Yeah, really looking forward to this game. It should be a cracking game. I've been really impressed by the Highlanders backline in the matches to date. Got some big, powerful runners scoring some amazing tries. And the Stormers are certainly going to have their work cut out for them. I'm slightly leaning towards the Stormers extending that run of victories over the Highlanders, mainly because it's Skalk's 100th game, and I think the team will get up for him. And also that it's their first game on tour, and they've had this 2-week break already, which is something of a luxury to head overseas, have an extra week to prepare. If this was later in the tournament later in the tour with more injuries, perhaps I might have been leaning towards the Highlanders. But I'm going to go for the Stormers to pick up a victory to get their tour off to a winning start. But again, not by many points. It could be as little as 1 or 2. But the Stormers will certainly take that. I think they'll take any victory, whether it's 4 tries or not, just to sort of get back onto that winning trail. So home or away victory for me in that match.
Rob, how important do you think it is to have a bye before your tour? We can see in this picture here the Stormers have had some time out in New Zealand. They're whitewater rafting. They've had a week or so to acclimatise. Does that make a huge difference?
It does, as Garen says, especially if you're doing sort of the long haul travel. I think just mentally as well, they'll just feel as if the time is right now to start the tour after having had a week off to sort of nurse their wounds a little bit from that Chiefs defeat, which was disappointing considering how sort of brilliant the Stormers had been in that first half. So that it's as much as anything, it's been a very useful time to have a little bit of reflection, to really sort of take a bit of a step back, just relax mentally and physically for a bit, and then sort of recharge in time for the first tour game. I've gone slightly the other way on this one, and it's not so much a statement on the Stormers,
as
but
you do.
yeah. It's more to do with the fact that I'm not very happy with the general sort of South African quality of rugby in Super Rugby thus far. I think that the New Zealand teams are looking ominously sort of a step ahead, and considering this game is just in the backyard of one of their reasonably decent sides, and wins don't just grow on trees for South African teams, and so reluctantly I've gone the other way. But make no mistake, the Stormers do have a chance. I quite like the fact that Nizam Khan gets a run at number 8. Many believe that's his favourite position. They're going to miss Dwayne's sort of immense physicality, of course, as he sits out a week having their mandatory break. But in some ways you might find that it sort of sparks the Stormers' attacking play. So I'm not writing them off, but gut feel tells me that it's going the hometown way, I'm afraid.